Folks, my first guest tonight has been a presidential speechwriter and a top aide to the Speaker of the House. You know him as the longtime host of Hardball. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Mr. Chris Matthews. Chris, good to have you back. How have you been?
I've been great. You were great last night. My God.
Oh,
with John.
thank you.
With John.
Oh, we have a lot of fun when John stops by.
It was such a great thing to bring him up and to have him get back to Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell is
fun.
the oldest rule in politics is shoot up.
Yeah.
Right? McConnell shoots him.
Yeah.
He makes John bigger than him.
That's right.
It's the dumbest move I've ever seen. Jon Stewart right now is a bigger deal in retirement from The Daily Show than Mitch McConnell is Senate Majority Leader. He's a bigger deal.
Hear that, John? Hear that?
Yeah.
He seems happy. He looks happy.
It's true. It's such a dumb move.
Well, speaking of dumb moves, Trump launched his re-election campaign today. Yeah. Okay, it's happening as we speak. It's
Disney
going down
World,
in Florida. Yeah, going on down there.
Yeah.
Now, these polls that people are talking about, they mean anything?
Well, but him, you know, his polls have never been good. People don't like saying they like him. They're embarrassed. And it's more embarrassing now because of the racism, the terrible stuff he says. Nobody wants to say, yeah, I'm with that. So right. I'm very skeptical. I'm worried. I think it's going to be a real close one next November. I think 2 or 3 of the Democrats I can see beating him. Others may beat him. I think Biden could beat him. I think Warren could beat him. I think Buttigieg is coming on strong. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. But
I think people are very taken with what it seems like when you hear Buttigieg talk, you're really hearing that guy talk. It seems like a fresh, honest, responsive answer.
Yeah, and it's like when I interviewed him a couple times, I got the feeling he got my question 2 days ago. You know, I mean, he's got an essay all written up. Every word is written out.
It's those damn Rhodes Scholars.
It's that Rhodes Scholars. You got to that. But
that
right
Clinton
now, what is Clinton's like that too? Rhodes Scholars, Rachel Maddow's a Rhodes Scholar. They just seem to always speak in paragraphs. You know, they got it all ready. But I think right now it's sort of like Baskin Robbins. You go in, there's 31 flavors. I think I tried Beto last week. I think I'll try Buttigieg. You know, it's a tasting thing. And by the way, with these debates next week, there's going to be 10 one night, 10 the next night. You can basically get it's worth it as a citizen to just sit and watch this thing. I'm selling right now. It's our network.
It's NBC and MSNBC.
Yeah, so you're going to sit there, and at the end of the day, 2 hours, you're going to go, and then the next night, 2 hours, and they're going to be right next to Buttigieg, right next to Biden. I love the fact that they cleverly put these foreign. It's like
so that's night 2.
Yeah, that's night 2.
It's Biden and
Buttigieg.
And Bernie, right?
All 3 of them right
all the
there.
B's, the 3
and you'll
B's.
be able to watch them in one shot.
Yeah.
And they'll be looking at each other, and you'll go, when's he going to take a shot at me? And then Biden will get hit, and he'll start talking about Grandpa Finnegan again, you know. And
who's Grandpa Finnegan?
That's Biden always talks about.
He talks Grandpa Finnegan?
He's always come back to that stuff.
Why do you think Biden is out front? I mean, certainly Warren is, famous and has her passionate base. Bernie is the guy he's next in line, if you look at it that way, the guy who came in second last time.
Did you ever meet Biden?
Oh, my God,
He's the most normal guy. I mean, he's like on Amtrak. Every person, anybody takes the Acela here on the East Coast, knows everybody who works on that train knows him personally. You go up to the woman who sells the coffee, and she says, oh, yeah, he's always getting his picture taken with my mother. You know, that's Biden. He's very likable, and he's...
But it's nostalgia, too, right? It's like,
well,
let's just go back 4 years to the way things were before, Orange Thanos showed up.
Yeah. But, he was sort of Ed McMahon to Barack Obama for 8 years.
I would take Ed McMahon, too.
Yeah,
That
he was a regular guy. He put the O in Obama. He was like the Irish guy hanging around with the African-American president, and they worked together as a team. And I think everybody, African-American and white voters, all remember that very nice relationship. And I think they felt good about it. And I think they want something like that again. They feel good about it.
Now, why do you think Warren is surging? What do you think?
Ideas. She's an engine. She's an engine of ideas. I think she's very careful to say, I'm not a socialist. I'm a reformer. I want to fix things, but I do believe in the market system as the basis, and I want to redistribute the wealth, but I don't want to just kill the wealth. I think she's very smart, and I think people are going to listen to her. I think she's going to be something to watch. There's some pretty good candidates there, and I think, you know, we were asking so many. There's 20 of them, 23 actually. Steve Bullock didn't get in the list. You know, some people didn't get in this list. But
as sitting governor of Montana,
yeah.
you know,
well, he's good.
State,
I thought he was going to be the hot ticket this time. Next February of 1920, which is not that far, 2020, it's going to be down to one or two because somebody will win Iowa and somebody will win New Hampshire. And if that's the same person, look out. I think Elizabeth Warren can win Iowa because she's very aggressive, very progressive. The activists show up. We know how it works. The more moderate people don't show up that often. She goes to New Hampshire, home ground for her, home court. Then she goes to Nevada, big labor state. She could win 3 in a row. She's the one that could start really fast. Now, I think she'll blow out Bernie pretty early on. Bernie will lose his votes to her. Biden's trick will be, can he hang in there and basically do rope-a-dope for 4 or 5 contests and still be in the race when he's lost 3 or 4 up front? Because up front are very aggressive, very progressive. He'll appeal to the moderate, southern kind of voter, more conservative Democrat. He can hang in there. This is predicting a year, but I did say this about a year and a half ago, so I still believe it. So.
Right. So when you make predictions normally a year and a half ahead of time, are they accurate?
They're always accurate because I'm the only one that remembers them.
Well, what can you do? What can these people in these 2 debates? Again, it's 20 of the candidates over the course of 2 nights. We'll be live. We're going to be covering it live ourselves here. And what can they do to differentiate themselves? How will they come to the gate? What is the thing that they have to do?
Come out strong. People want to see energy. They want to see that you're glad you're there. Showtime like you do it. Anybody who's on television, look like you love to be there. You got to be there. This is important. And I think when Bobby Kennedy gave advice to Jack Kennedy in his big, great debate with Nixon, you know what he said? As his brother, he loved his brother, Jack. He's going out to debate the vice president of the United States. You know what he said to him? Kick him in the balls. And I tell you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what he said. And I'm telling you, that's the right advice. Go for the kill. Take down the one you have to. So I would expect Buttigieg will go, and Beto, they'll go after Biden. I would expect Elizabeth is going to find a way to grab front line. She's going to be first in line among the progressives. There's sort of 2 lanes, the moderates and the progressives. It's sort of like a TSA line. You look for the short line, you know?
Yeah,
you go for the short line. Well, the Biden line's really short. It's just him.
You had people on your show last night. You had you had the deciders?
Yeah, we went out to Dayton, Ohio, because I wanted to talk to the people. We've done this twice now. Go to the people in the parts of the country that haven't made up their mind, which are like 50-50, Metza, and ask them what would change their minds. And what I really learned last night, a couple things I've learned. One, big surprise. People don't like being overlooked. They like politicians. Hillary never visited that town, Dayton, but Trump been through there a number of times. People want you to come to them and ask for their votes. It's the oldest thing in politics. Tip O'Neill told me that. People like to be asked. They don't overlook the basics. If you want somebody to vote for you, come and ask them to vote for you. And so
Yes.
we have
Don't
to
just
teach this.
assume that we're going to the dance together. You have to actually
a friend
ask
of mine
me to the
said,
prom.
and once a friend of mine talked about his relationship with women. He said, people don't mind being used. They mind being discarded. Don't discard people. And I think the Democrats discard a lot of the working class people in places like we were in Pennsylvania, Wilkes-Barre, out in Dayton. Trump went in there lots of times. So the other thing they don't like is being talked down to, looked down on, as, oh, they're pro-life people, they're below us. No, don't talk about people that way. What else? The Trump people don't care how crass Trump is, how much he lies. My favorite question last night, I asked them, how many people think Trump lies? Almost everybody yells. Yeah, both sides, Republicans and Democrats. And then how many people here don't think he lies? Crickets. Nobody, not a single Republican in that big room like this said, I don't think he lies. That's weird. Usually you vote for people. Usually you vote for people you think are telling the truth. That's sort of a minimal requirement.
Chris, have you been in a coma for 3 years? No,
that's really awful about Trump because, you know,
it is awful.
You and I care about, you care about this country. We're patriotic. We wanted to have a president. We want to have a country that has fair elections, and we live with the results, and we've learned to do that since the 18th century. We've lived with the other side winning. We can live with the other side winning. We can live with that. We just want to know the person who takes the election doesn't try the person they beat, put them in jail. Like he did with Hillary, right? Lock her up right away, lock her up. And if they lose, and now they say every time the election, we know that Trump, if he had lost the election in the Electoral College, he would have said it was rigged. We now know that. That's the way he is. And that's bad for our country. He is bad for the country on the basics of believing in the system of democracy, and treating other people like a human being. Don't make fun of their faces, which this guy does. He makes fun of other people's faces, which is incredible. I love that woman it ran against. She said everybody in the country knew what you meant. Yeah. I mean, she nailed him on that. And making fun of these nicknames. You know, by the way, you know who's doing real right now? Pocahontas is doing really well.
She is.
I think he should start calling her Geronimo right now because she is coming on strong. And I wouldn't call her Pocahontas anymore, although Pocahontas was pretty popular in our history. I don't know why he gave her a positive name.
Or she should call him sitting bull because that's all he's got.
Did you say that?
No. Hardball with Chris Madden.